fulfillment. This is where you, as the creator, this is where you shine. So like I was saying in previous videos, you have to think of it like being a professional athlete, a singer, an actor. But fulfillment, what we have found is that the creators that do the best in creating content do so because that's all they have to worry about. If you're worrying about sales, if you're worrying about accounting, if you're worrying about marketing, if you're worrying about mobile proxies, if you're worrying about creating multiple Twitter accounts, if you're worried about the tweets that you're sending, it's so hard to key in and focus on just making good content. And ultimately, this is what it comes down to. You know, if your content is lower quality than another creator, you're going to be behind the 8 ball, so to speak. You're going to be behind in the race to the top. Now, there are agencies that take the approach of, hey, we can spam a platform. So we can create 300 Instagram accounts and have those 300 accounts feed into one account. Now, I'm not going to say that that's wrong. I'm just going to say that our agency, we're focusing on quality. One viral video will outperform 3,000 accounts. One video from Sophie Rain or from Jelly Bean Brains that can get millions of views will always outperform 300 accounts, 3,000 accounts, getting a couple of thousand views for each post. So there's 2 methods that you can approach traffic with and content creation with. You can take the qualitative approach where you're trying to go viral, or you can take what's called the black hat approach where you're trying to basically spam the platform. Now, I do know of agencies that build their business model on black hat. It's just for us, we found at our agency, it's not sustainable because you're fighting the platform. If you make 300 spam accounts, you know, TikTok, which is a very complex app, will detect it. They'll figure out, okay, you know, you're doing things on this platform that we don't want. There are people that try to get nudity onto TikTok, nudity onto Instagram. But we have found that if you do what the platform wants, the platform and the algorithm will reward you. The problem is most agencies don't possess the creativity to figure out what their model can make in order to blow up. So 90%, maybe more, of agencies are just following trends. The problem is that if you're following trends as a creator, if you're just making videos that you've seen another creator make, you may be the 10,000th creator to make that video. It's going to be impossible to go viral because at the very least, you're making a copy. Some people say you can make it better. I just think with our agency, our approach is setting the trend instead of following the trend. If you're constantly following the trend, you're always going to be behind and it's going to be super difficult for your account to blow up. So what we do is we take our creative direction team. We look at who you are as a creator, what you like to do, what you can pull off, what kind of content you really shine with. We experiment, we post different content verticals, and we start to key in on what makes you, and what makes people fall in love with you. But this is something that you cannot do well if you're busy focusing on a million other things. So we put you in a position, and any good agency should put you in a position where your number one priority is thinking, okay, how can I film this skit to the best of my ability? How can I keep my mind relaxed? How can I have a team that gives me, whether it's a shot list, whether it's a team that helps record, whether it's a team that gives you ideas, hooks, you don't have to worry about the editing, but how can I have a team to take most of the burden off of my shoulders so that way I can focus on making content that's entertaining, making content that's evergreen, so content that's going to stand the test of time, and content that's trending, and create these trends so that you're at the head of the pack instead of following and constantly wondering why you don't get traffic, why you don't get sales. And usually it's because your content, unfortunately, it's not good. And it's very, very hard to be good at content creation if you're either following or you're creating not so good content and then trying to spam a platform with hundreds or thousands of accounts. Hopefully, this gives you a good insight into why some creators do so well and then so many creators don't. It's because the fulfillment, the content that they create whether it's for social media marketing or even on OnlyFans, is so high quality. It's so ahead of the pack that the audience responds and rewards them.